Yo, fellas, if y'all want to see me wife a girl that looks like this, or even this, tap in with my Instagram, man. My goal is 10K followers. If y'all active, I will follow back. Come on, y'all. I know we could do it, but hey, here go the vid.
Hey, welcome to the Love and Basketball series. A lot of you guys requested this, so here it is. I know most of you know already, but my name is Kalani. But most people call me KK if you guys want to call me that instead. I'm not gonna lie. Corey doesn't know this yet, but I'm making him narrate this thing. It's way too much work for me. Plus I have a terrible accent and y'all are gonna be laughing at me trying to talk for 10 minutes. Anyway, I'll go get Corey. See you guys later.
Man, I swear if I didn't want some cheeks tonight, I would not be here right now. It's annoying, man. Alright, let's do it. What's good, ladies and gents? As you can see, I'm being forced to do this. I ain't even feel like it, but I'm trying to drop a triple-double in the bedroom tonight, so without further ado, let's take a look into Kalani's background. So Kalani grew up in a fat house in the suburbs. Now y'all know I come from struggling low-end housing, but Kalani was the complete opposite. Her neighborhood was filled with high-end housing. Man, some of them even looked like small mansions. Her dad was into real estate and her mom was a lawyer, so they definitely had bread. But both of them played collegiate basketball, so that made Kalani want to follow in their footsteps. Even though Kalani had money all her life, she was always humble. Man, that girl worked for everything she got. She was a 5-star recruit in high school and ended up committing to Stanford. She was able to get an NIL deal because of her social media following, and her parents were straight, so she bought herself an $80,000 supercar. She would always make students stop and look because of her car and her looks. But the thing I liked about her the most, she was hard to get. At first, she didn't even want to date anyone and focus on school and basketball. But we ended up meeting while I was shooting around in the gym. And from the moment I met her, I just had a gut feeling we could be something. I started off being cool with her, but man, we really hit it off. Next thing you know, we was hanging out almost every day. And she was always supporting me and watching all of my away games when we were traveling. She also texted me after every game just to make sure I was good. It's crazy to think she was a junior and I was a freshman. Hey, I guess my motion was elite. We was basically locked in until I committed to the draft my sophomore year. But don't get it twisted. I was hooping, but she was going crazy too. It was a lot of hype surrounding her name coming into our senior season. And man, I could see why. Her work ethic was crazy. One day I went with her just to watch, and she shot over 1,000 shots. And not only that, she made 60% of them. And she was shooting from NBA range. I'm not gonna lie, between me and y'all, she might be a better shooter than Lonnie. Y'all gonna see why in a minute. But eventually me and Kalani made it official. We would always work out together and study together. But when that was over, we would always go back to the crib and chill. And man, y'all know what that lead to. Well, we ain't gotta get into that. I'll be honest, Kalani was basically my twin. If you look at me and her on the court, it was almost identical. We were both top players in the nation and had similar stats. Now y'all already know my story and how I made it to the league. But this ain't about me. It's time to see how Kalani became one of the best to ever do it. So the first game of Kalani's senior season would be up against the University of Texas. And I specifically remember this game. She texted me before and she was hella nervous. She wanted to make a statement because all of the hype surrounding her name from her play last season. Man, I tried to tell that girl not to pay attention to the blogs and just focus on hooping. But she never listened to me. That girl read everything. Every blog, every tweet, basically everything that got her name in it. Now I told y'all Lonnie could shoot, but she also got some mean handles. Boom! Yeah, it was about to get scary for these girls at Texas. But the crazy thing about Kalani, this girl knows she can score and drop 40 points a game, but she looks to get her teammates involved. I mean, some games she'll even shy away from scoring just to make sure she get enough assists. I don't know, me, I'm the complete opposite. Y'all know I try to go out there and get some buckets. I know y'all probably want me to shut up and stop talking about myself because I literally already got a movie out. But hey, bruh, chill, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's my girl, bruh. But another thing about Kalani, she never get rattled. As you can see, this game was close in the beginning, but she wasn't nervous at all. If it was a tie game, boom! She was going to try to extend the lead herself. And she was going to let you know afterwards. Don't let the looks and the cute face fool you. Kalani talk more trash than I do. She probably gonna deny it, but that's definitely a fact. But anyway, this first game of the season was crazy because Texas was not giving up. I mean, this game was back and forth the whole time. It was like watching a boxing match. Punch for punch, blow for blow, and Kalani was scoring at every single level. In the post, mid-range, and from deep. But like I said in the beginning, Kalani was a playmaker first. In this game, she was making things happen with her ball handling ability. I mean, she always been good at using her hands. And as the second quarter came to a close, her team would have a small lead on Texas. But it would not last long as they would cut it down to a 1-point lead. Now, me personally, I was watching and I thought it was at this moment that she should have started to take over. But of course, Lonnie being her, she kept finding her open teammates and trying to get them going. But ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, whatever get the dub, get the dub. But on the next possession, she came down on a nice little pick and roll and got a left-hand layup. But unfortunately, the defense was not able to stretch out this lead, and it was still a close game. But Kalani ended up turning up on the defensive end and got a steal off the inbound and an easy layup. And that's definitely something that separated Kalani from a lot of players. I mean, aside from all the talent she already had, she loved to play defense. Moving on to the fourth quarter, it was a 1-point lead and Kalani put her cape on. She had to turn into Superwoman. And in this situation, she was not passing the ball. She wanted to make sure they closed this game out. And on the next play, she got a little ISO on a PG, hit a nice spin move, and then hit a crazy step through lay through 2 defenders. I don't know what that celebration was, but I guess she was channeling her inner Michael Jordan. But I ain't gonna lie, that layup was crazy. I mean, watching that live, I couldn't believe it. She really stepped through 2 defenders that were way taller than her and still got the finish. Hey, she was crafty, man. I'm telling y'all, she too talented. And with a little over 40 seconds to go, their star 5, Cameron Brink, ended up closing out the game and slamming the ball on the floor and walking away in the timeout. Hey, that was kind of cold, I ain't gonna lie. But just like that, the Stanford girls would end up getting the dub. And Kalani played a major role in getting his first dub of the season. Now in this game, she ended up dropping 25 points while also grabbing 8 rebounds and 4 assists. And on top of that, she had 3 steals. I ain't gonna lie, that's not bad for your first showing. It's actually pretty great. But next up, Kalani had another tough challenge against some other stars in the women's game. Haley Van Lith, Flau'jae Johnson, and Angel Reese. She had to go against the undefeated LSU team. Hey, but she had no fear in her. She took it straight to Haley Van Lith off rip and got a nice little Euro step late. And on the next defensive possession, she ended up getting the steal on Angel Reese and pushing the ball in transition. She was trying to start this game off going crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Now Kalani's name, it wasn't up there with Caitlinclark and Angel Reese yet, but if she was able to knock off this team by herself, she would most definitely be able to make a name for herself. But on the next play, she ended up sending Haley Van Lith to the gulag and got the tough finish that should have been an and one. I'm telling y'all, this girl tough, man. But trust me, y'all gonna find out sooner or later. But on the next possession, they was pushing it in transition, and Haley Van Lith needed some help. Boom! And Kalani ended up knocking down another tray ball. I mean, I already knew she was good at knocking shit down, but she was going crazy. Now, I'm guessing she figured that Haley couldn't guard her, and she ended up going at her again. Boom! Hit another step back 3 in her grill. It was getting ugly fast. But this LSU team was undefeated, and they was national champs, so you already knew they was gonna fight back. And with a couple seconds left to go, Kalani ended up kicking it to the corner, and her teammate hit the buzzer beater corner 3. But as the second quarter went on, LSU was able to get the lead back to a 2-point lead. And now, Kalani and the girls had to do some work. But she was looking to attack the basket and facilitate like she normally do. And then it was a tie game again. I ain't gonna lie, watching this game at the crib was crazy. I mean, it was too much stuff going on. And with a couple seconds left to go in the second, the same girl hit a buzzer beater again. 2 buzzer beaters in 2 quarters is absolutely crazy. Next thing you know, it was another lead change, and Lonnie and them was up by 2. And on the next possession, she attacked the basket and found a wide open teammate for an easy mid-range jump shot. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Kalani was going crazy with the celebrations. But all they had to do was keep stringing stops together and keep putting points on the board. And man, they could make this thing happen, as she got an easy bucket while running in transition. At this point in the game, Stanford was up by 3. And Kalani figured it was time to attack some more. Called for the nice little pick and roll action and ended up getting another Euro step lay right over Angelreese. Crazy. We all know she was known for blocking shots, but hey, Kalani said, not today. Called for another pick and roll, easy pump fake got the defense jumping, and then she got a nice dish to Cameron Brink. And just like that, Kalani and them will get the dub. Now the next game on the schedule will be a Pac-12 matchup against rival UCLA. And coming out the gate, Lonnie was attacking early. Got a nice little step back mid-range on a PG. And I'm not gonna fake it. She told me in that LSU game she performed well, but she thought she could do way better. So coming into this UCLA game, she was looking to take over, as she ended up getting a crazy acrobatic lay right over the defender. And on the next possession, she ended up missing a 3, pump faked and hit a crazy step back, and then boom! She ended up getting it to drop. That step back was elite level. That was crazy. And as the first quarter went on, man, she kept attacking. But this time, it was in the post. I ain't gonna lie, that UCLA point guard was way too small for her. As she got the easy turnaround layup, it was getting scary. Now, normally, Kalani always got the ball in her hands. But the coach started to draw up some plays where she could come off a back screen and get an easy lay. And that's definitely something the defense wasn't expecting. They coach had to call a timeout and talk about some stuff after that. And toward the end of the second quarter, they still had the lead, but UCLA was definitely trying to fight back. And she drove to the paint and ended up finding somebody else. Boom! For another corner 3. I'm not gonna lie though, Kalani was definitely being a pest from the West this game. I mean, she was pressing them 94 feet. And ultimately, she ended up drawing an 8-second violation on the team a few times. I know they was frustrated. In the second half of the game, she was looking to push the tempo in transition, and that's exactly what she did. Crossed up their point guard and got an easy finish at the cup, straight to the buy high. But anyway, Kalani was starting to make a name for herself over these past 3 games. I mean, she took down Texas, took down LSU, who was undefeated, and now she was giving UCLA the business. I mean, she was going to have some work to do if she wanted to get her name up there with people like angelreese, Paige Beckers, and caitlinclark. But after these first 3 showings, she definitely has the talent and the ability to do so. Now, one of the girls on UCLA hit a 3 and taunted. And afterwards, Kalani wasn't standing for that. Boom! Yeah, she got it back in blood, I ain't gonna lie. And just like I always forget to do when me and Kalani Netflix and chilling, man, it's time to wrap this thing up. And she got a layup over the defender, and just like that, Stanford was gonna get the conference dub over UCLA. Now, it wasn't a blowout win, but they was definitely in control the whole game. And you could tell by the way Kalani was dominating. Now, in this game, Kalani had dropped 25, 7, and 5. She went crazy. But hey, this was only the beginning of how she began to take over the women's game.